Hello everyone, welcome to the second process video of the homemade scrapbook kit that I did. I was just showing you some of the papers and the photos that I was going to be using there. So I just have a white 12 by 12 cardstock and I'm just taping it down to my craft mat with some washi. And then on top of that I'm just taping down a Heidi Swap chevron stencil. And then I'm just going to use my Versamark and I'm just going to pounce it all over the stencil to get it onto my paper. Just change the camera angle there because the first one wasn't really working for me. I think this one is better. I think this is the one that I might stick with. I think you can see a lot more this way. So now you can see the chevron pattern on my paper there. And then I'm just going to bring in some gold embossing powder once I get that washi off. There we go. I'm just going to bring in some gold embossing powder. I got this embossing powder at a garage sale, so I really don't know what brand it is. A lady had passed away, and one of her friends was selling her scrapbooking stuff for her family because they, I guess, couldn't bring themselves to do it. So I great embossing powder. I unfortunately do not know what brand it is. You can see there I missed some of the chevron pattern with the Versamark, but it's okay. I'm just going to put away the embossing powder. And then I'm just going to get my heat gun. I'm just going to heat it up. Start it melting. And then in a second here, I'm just going to cut I stopped the video while I finished the embossing because I didn't think it needed to be taped. And I'll just come back in just a second or I'll be done. So there we go. The embossing's all done. So now I'm just, what am I doing here? There we go. I'm getting a pink paisley resist paper and my Stampin' Up! Crumb Cake ink. And I'm just going to put that all over this paper, pounce it on there to get that crumb cake pattern, ink on there. The pattern is almost like a chevron as well for this paper. I'm just using a paper towel and I'm just rubbing it off the extra ink, and there now you can see the chevron coming out. And then here's my photos. I'm just going to trim them down. These are the photos of my son's first Easter. He was so excited when he found all the eggs. And so happy. So I've got my photos trimmed down there. And now I'm just going to bring in, this is a blue Tim Holtz Coordinations paper. I'm just figuring out how I like my photos laid out on it. I decided, yep, that looks good. I'm going to get some tape. I'm just going to stick it down to my paper. Then I'm just going to trim my paper to size. And then I'm going to get a Tim Holtz distressing tool. And I'm just going to distress the edges of the coordination paper just so you can see the different shade of blue around the edges. So there we go. And now I'm just deciding if I like how this looks. And I'm just going to trim down the gold chevron because it kind of bothered me that the chevron didn't go all the way to the edge of the white cardstock. So what I'm doing is I'm just trimming off the border, and then I'm just going to glue this down onto a piece of brown craft cardstock. Get my ATG. I'm just going to center that on the paper here. And then I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use this resist paper that I put the crumb cake ink on. I've just got a Stampin' Up! Scallop punch here. I'm just punching a scallop border. And I'm just going to trim that. Because it's 8 by 8, it doesn't go the full way across. So I'm just going to do it again so that I can put it the full way across underneath a piece of blue paper. I'm using, this is a Glue Dots double-sided adhesive, and I actually ran out there. That's all I have left, what's left on that little plastic piece there. And I'm seeing if there's any more left, and unfortunately there is not. And it's actually a glue line is what it is. So that helped me keep everything straight. I'm just going to trim off the excess on the back there. And I'm just going to tape that down. Oh, I'm going to glue it down with Scotch Quick Dry. I'm just going to glue that down onto the top of the scallop border. I wish I'd left a bit more of that resist paper showing, but I didn't, so that's okay. There's something I can do about it now. Now I'm just adding in my title. The glare is horrible here. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why the glare is so bad. Anyways, the title says, Yay Easter. And these are little bingo chip stickers that I had. And then now I'm just going to look through the little embellishments that I pulled. I'm going to play around with these for quite a while, trying to figure out the placement and what I'd like to use on my page. I have the little clothespins again that I tried to use on my last layout. All the little arrows that I had. Anything that really coordinated with this layout I was pulling out of my scrapbook kit that I made. Now I have this little dump truck here, and he actually did get a dump truck for the Easter that year. And I want to actually outline it with the stickles, but then what happened there behind the back tire was an air bubble, and so it made it splat all over the little cardboard chipboard piece. So now I'm just painting it with the gold stickles, which still turned out alright. There we go, and then I'm just going to get my heat gun to dry that up. I think I do it out of frame. Yeah, I do. Sorry. Oh, no. Yeah, I kind of do it in frame and out of frame. Sorry about that. So then there's a little dump truck done. And I'm just going to add some, I think it's scotched foam adhesive that I put on the back. Yeah, I decided that's going to go down there. And I'm going to put the little 2 eggs in it, in the back of the dump truck. Yeah, I'm getting the scotch double-sided foam adhesive. I'm just sticking that on the back of the truck to make it dimensional, because the eggs are quite dimensional. The eggs that I'm using on the layout are just recollections. Eggs that I got on clearance at Michael's. And I'm going to put the little dump truck down there. I'm going to put the eggs coming out the back of the truck. Playing around with those clothespins again. Seeing if I can try to get those on the layout. That one actually had broken and I was just fixing it. So I decided I'm going to stick them on. I've used a little bit too much glue there. So I'm just getting another one. And I just decided I'm going to stick them on. I didn't like the way they looked clipped on the page. I couldn't find anywhere to clip them onto anything. So I'm just going to stick them on the layout there. And then I have a little die cut that says best day ever. So I'm just going to stick that underneath the clothespins. It kind of fills in the space between the clothespins and the truck. So I'm going to play with the tags again. I decided I'm going to use my glossy accents this time. Don't know why I decided on that. I was getting a little pin to open up my glossy accents with again. There we go. There, now it's working again. And I decided that little label's going to go there. Nope. Don't like it there, I decide. Oh, that might be why I used glossy accents, because then I knew that I could just take it off again. Yeah, without leaving a mark. I'm going to put these little arrows here on top of the label. That label was just one that I printed off the internet and cut out myself. And then let's pick up the little embellishments. And I've got this blue frame that I keep trying to get on the layout, but I can't. And then I think that's pretty much the layout done. I'm going to add some enamel dots. I'll add a few photos on